Ma omai hu hiao na Ghana mai ya mene odio. Me mai hu hiao. You see, amamre so awo hwe yen tonchene. Yen tonchene. If we say wo nim wa mamre ene wo kro mamania na chese wayira. Now, before I get into trouble, let me end it here because the custodians of history and traditions and cultures are here to tell us more about our beautiful country called Ghana and our heritage, our history, what makes us unique, what makes us different, and what really unites us. Today, we are going to the central region and then the Ashanti region, yes. Asante and then the central region. But the central region, we are going to an interesting part called Assin. There are various groups in central region, and we'll learn about it. Today is the last Sunday of March 2021. But you know what? I promise you, I know you've enjoyed our history and our culture and traditions month. And so we are going to extend it in April. And in April, we are going to bring you more traditions and cultures from different parts of Ghana. Don't you agree? Yes, we need to learn. It's 13 years of the standpoint. July will be 13 years. And why not? For the first time in 13 years, this is the time we are really studying. Knowledge is power. Welcome to the standpoint. Yes, today the journey continues. And let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is ABC. Where you titi intuma? Titi intuma ABC. Titi intuma. Say. Actually, we'll get to know more about it later. Let me say thank you to Masael Vogue, all the way in Kumasi. Yes, she sent it to me by FedEx this morning. And I had it this afternoon, you know, to wear for this particular program. So thank you so much, Michelle and your mother and your family for sewing this beautiful slate and cover for me. I love it so much. And then Note Cosmetics Ghana. Note Cosmetics Ghana, they give us the makeup product and beautifully applied by @IAM_JClaw. Thank you so much to everybody who helped put this month of March, the journey, the beginning of our journey all together. And we are going to continue in April as well. This necklace, beautiful necklace, was given to me 3 years ago, almost 4, I think 4 years or 3 years ago, by Kwa Designs, the CEO of Kwa Designs. Thank you so much. This is the first time I'm wearing it, and it's a proper time to wear it as well. We take a break. When we come back, we meet the Kronko Hima of Asante Mampong and the paramount queen mother of Assin Akandanso, the paramount queen mother of Assin Atandanso. Yes, we'll be back. Welcome back to the standpoint. We are still celebrating our cultures and our traditions. And today I take you to the central region, the border between Central and Ashanti. That's where I'm taking you. And to Asante Mampong. Well, let me say thank you to our sponsor, GTP, Timeless. Their style, their designs. GTP has been around since independence and they're still there. Quality Intoma. Yes, and today they are sponsoring our program. This month, our program for traditions and cultures with their special brand. That's the Adepa Dumas. Adepa Dumas. All the Queen Mothers who appear on the program will get, Adepa Dumas. They just want to appreciate them and thank them for the good work they've done so far. Though not often we hear of them, but we know they're doing great job behind the scenes. Note Professional Makeup, thank you so much for supporting as well. And we're also sponsored by Easteron Balloons and Accessories. Everything balloons and accessories, they've got us covered. Thank you so much. Now let me come to my set and introduce my in-laws. course, I've already told you that queen mothers are my mothers-in-law. And so I'll have to behave. You see how this particular recording is? I'm not slaying, proper dressing, slated covers, slated top and skirt, beats are beats. Going back to my roots. So at my extreme left, I have Nana Ekwia Abuajiwa Kente. She is the Kronko Hima of Asante, Mampong. She's a retired educationist and a traditional leader. Nana Akwaba.
Yeah.
With that Sibebre, Sisi Ato Safre or no. One puputi now by. That was Sibebre. Okay, so next to her, I have Nana Abena Jemfua II, Paramount Queen Mother of Assin Atandanso Traditional Area. And she is the Executive Director of Early Learning Foundation. So I have two educationists who are also Queen Mothers. Welcome to the Standpoint.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me start from Nana Buajiwa. Kronko Hima. What does it mean? What does Kronko mean?
Yes. When one says Kronko, it means if I don't go, you don't go.
Okay.
That is the literal meaning.
Okay.
It is a stool created by Utumfo, the Asante.
Okay.
And it is from that stool that Mampong also created the Kronko stool.
Okay.
For Kronko and
Okay.
Kronko Hima. Normally the chiefs move in procession. So when the procession is moving,
Right.
as soon as you see the Kronko Hine, it means the paramount is near.
Okay.
He protects the chief. So if they are moving and the Kronko Hima stops going, it means the paramount chief has to stand still until Kronkohini moves. Then the paramount chief will also move forward. The same applies to Kronkohima. That is the meaning of Kronko stool, yes. Kronkohini and Kronkohima.
Okay.
If they sit, we sit near them.
Okay.
And so mostly the people who are enthroned on the Kronko stool are the children of the chief, the paramount chief.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So they can be trusted
They can
to
be
protect their
them.
father or their
Yes.
mother.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's beautiful. So, how many years have you been a queen mother now?
I was installed in 1991.
1991.
1991.
Wow.
So it's about 30 years now.
30 years. Yes. 30 years now.
30 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me cut to Nana Bunajeva.
Yes.
Nana, you said wow. You've
Yes.
also learned something.
Yes, I have.
Paramount Queen Mother.
Yes, sir.
So it means you have other areas under you.
Yes, I do.
The Paramount Queen Mother, do you have a specific area that you supervise all the areas that come under your stool?
Paramount Queen Mother, I see to the affairs of the areas of Mahini, or the women in the traditional area, the whole traditional area.
Okay.
So Asante and Danso, for instance, we have about 60 towns and villages.
60 towns and villages?
Yes.
Wow.
60 towns and villages. So we have queen mothers. Some are even a union of people, not just a town.
Town, yeah.
Yes. So they are all under me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you able to manage it? Because I'm sure there are some queen mothers who are under you, but they are older than you.
Yes. Surprisingly, those who are older than me, they give me all the respect. They don't look at me as a person, but they look at the stool, the position, yes. So my elderly women, the queen mothers who are older than me, I enjoy relating with them, yes.
I see.
And the younger ones too, they look at how the older ones are living with me or relate to me, and they also learn.
But how long have you been a permanent queen mother?
13 years.
13 years.
Yes.
So did you just become a permanent queen mother, or you went through the process? When you were installed as a permanent queen mother?
Yes, I was installed as a permanent queen mother. Yeah.
Before then, did you know that you had a stool, that there was something like that in your future?
Yeah. The reason I'm laughing is that back in school, when I was in Form 2 or Form 3,
Okay.
you know, the history, Taboo and Apote fame, we were reading this book, we were doing the history all right, but I didn't know it was my stool. Yeah. I am, my father is from Aplau, so I am 50 Ewe and then 50 Asen.
Okay.
And so I was picked right from Aplau to live in the Asante region. And I didn't know that was my stool I was learning about.
Okay.
Until I completed Form 4 and I joined my mother and other siblings in our hometown before I got to know that was my stool I was learning about. Yes.
Wow. Nana Hima. Nana Abuajewa. Kente. Udiede.
Yes.
Nana, but did you knew that there was a position like that for you?
Yes.
Growing up, you knew it?
Yes, I knew it. My grandmother was on that stool.
Okay.
And she was holding 2 positions. She was a queen mother for our village and the Kronkwahima to the main traditional council.
Okay.
I was quiet, but my grandmother loved me so much right from infancy. So I was always with her.
Okay.
So when I grew, I was a teacher and so forth. But after some time, when we were working with women, we were doing women's organization with the 31st December Women's Movement. And we were organizing Queen Mothers to form the present-day Queen Mothers Association. My grandmother saw the interest in me in organizing the Queen Mothers. So she decided to give me one of her stools so that I become part of the system.
Okay.
So it was in 1991, as I was saying, that my grandmother handed over one of the stools to me when she was alive. So it was there and then that she started teaching me everything about the duties and functions of the Koronko stool.
Yeah.
My grandmother was so close to the paramount queen mother at that time, Nana Yecha, the late Nana Yecha. So I worked with her for some time. And fortunately, my father came from the Breto royal family. So the queen mothers of Mampong stool are my aunties from the paternal side. And I was so close with them, they loved me so much. So all of them were happy to have me as Kronkwahima. So at the end, after the death of Nana Yecha, Nana Jakumadufe, the present Queen Mother, was installed, and I continued working with her.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's one of the things that I've been saying throughout, this month, culture and traditional, education, that as for tradition and traditional positions, royal positions, you go and come. It will take forever. It will take something really drastic before you lose it. Politicians will go and go, pastors will go and come, but then their traditional leaders will remain. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at who are the Asante for and Assin for. We'll come and find out who they are, where they are from. All right, so you're watching The Standpoint. Well, interesting background. Now we know who they are, dear Stool, and we are going to learn about their people. Let me say thank you once again to Go God to Your God, Juice Time. Thank you. Kodam's Gift and Stationery, thank you so much. Yep Cleaning Services keep our environment clean every time, and we are grateful to them. Remember, this program is aired on 6 platforms. It's on Joy Prime, EBN TV, Truth TV, Facebook, YouTube, and www.thestandpoint.com.gh. The Standpoint Facebook page and YouTube, please go and click on the notification, button, and anytime we are streaming, you'll be notified, and then every Sunday at 8 p.m. on Facebook and then on YouTube as well. We are on there, so don't miss it at all. You can always re-educate yourself. Send a link to your family and the friends abroad to learn about our country, a beautiful country called Ghana. We take a break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to The Standpoint. More to learn, more to come. Well, again, I say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is ABC. Nana Abuajua, do you know the history, the ABC Ntuma?
I don't know much about, but we started schooling, learning A, B, C, D, Naneba, Ben, Naneba, and so forth. And before independence, when the Dumas and clothes from Dutch, Holland, they started coming in and they designed it and brought it. But normally when there's cloth come, you don't know whoever give the name, but you know that this is ABC, this is Wafamwa, it is Achichidiachi, and a whole lot. They were coming, but the source, the origin of the name, I don't know who brought it, but everybody knew it's ABC. Yes.
In recent times, they said as a market women who sell the cloth, who give it their names. They keep giving the name. They look at the designs in there and then they give it their names. Anyway, we say thank you to Masayel Vogue in Kumasi for sewing this slate and cover for me. I'm so grateful to them. My beat is by Core Designs. Thank you so much. Makeup product, Note Cosmetics, GH. We are grateful to you. And my makeup by @IAM_J Claw. Thank you so much. Nana Bwajua, when we say Asante for, who are the Asantes?
Oh, thank you. When we say Asante for, the name Asante came from the word Esa Inti. We are going for Esa. Ye Tusa, ye Kosa, ye Kokun. We are going to fight. Yes. So before the present day Asante for, the Ashantis, as we call them today, were independent, isolated towns and villages around. They came together after Okomfo Anokye commanding the Golden Stool. But before that, they were isolated people. They were under the dangerous. If we remember this saying that Brebrama Amaniema, the dangerous were ruling the Ashantis with a very strong hands. So the Ashantis decided to come together and fight. So their main motive of coming together to fight, on dangerous people. So the name Asante for came out of that. These people are coming together to fight. It is because of Asante that they are coming together. Asante, fighting. Any move that we would do to conquer the dangerous, that was the only objective at that time.
Wow.
And it was through that the name Asante, for that group of people getting ready to fight always, came to the group
Wow.
known now as the Asantes.
Wow.
So
Interesting
that was
story.
the history behind
Yekotusa.
Yekotusa.
Yeah.
Asante
Nkurɔfoɔ na wɔn tusa no,
Wɔn a
ɛba no.
Yetusa no,
Yeah,
they are
okay.
always. So if you go to the history of the Ashanti Kingdom, it was fight.
Yeah.
And at the peak of the kingdom, the Ashanti covered the entire Ghana,
Right.
together with part of Burkina Faso and part of Ivory Coast. That was the position of the Ashanti Kingdom at its peak.
Okay. What was it before the Akwemus started, or the Akwemus passed before the Ashantis came?
Akwamus started, the Dangerous came, the Adanse.
Okay.
You see, the Adanse Kingdom was even there. Then later,
Okay.
after the commanding of the golden stool from the skies by Okomfo, it was then that the Ashantis came together.
Right.
And it was then that we had the first Asante. So the
Okay.
previous chiefs were not Asante.
Okay.
It
They
was
were
after,
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
after
Wow.
we had the independence from the Dangerous.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, wow. Nana Abinajimfua.
Yes, I know.
Assin.
Yes.
Assin is in the central region.
Yes.
Who are the Assins?
Okay, so before I tell you who the Assins are, I want to say that this is a beautiful, or a very beautiful pair.
Right.
The Asantes and then the Assin.
Right.
Yes, because we are from Asante. Or Adanse.
Adanse.
Yes.
Oh.
We are from Adanse, the Assins.
Okay.
Especially the Asenat and Dansu. We are from Adanse. And to be precise, Dompoase.
Okay.
So I am a...
So traditionally, you are not Fantis.
No, we are not.
Okay.
We are not Fantis.
But
We
you're
are
just
from
part of
Adanse,
central
Dompoase.
region.
It's just part of central region. And that is why I'm saying this is a beautiful pair.
Okay. Yeah.
She talked about Dintra was ruling with a strong hands, if I
Right.
should use her words.
Yeah.
So that strong hands caused us to move as well from Dintra. The Asen people, our movements, just like she was saying, the movement was what made, or what got us that appellation Asen, or the name Asen.
Okay.
Our movement was not ones that stopped, or we didn't move just together at one time and stop.
Okay.
We are the Asenia clan. Okay. We moved from Dompoase to Amokom and then to other places. Then there are other people who also came. Some are from Asante Drabin. Some are from Ayija.
Okay.
And other places. So you see that the movement was that continuous. It was continuing. So in the typical tree language, they say ehimfona Asen. So
Okay.
we were that continuous movement.
Okay.
We became the Asen people. But we are from Adanse, and for that matter, the Akans. We do everything like the Asante or the Adanse people.
All right.
Their food, the fufu, the dokno, eto, banchia pesi, every food that you find in Asante, that is what we also eat. Okay. We speak Twi, but for the sake of the geographical boundaries, we are with the Fantis, and for my capital is Asante, so our capital is Nyankomasi Ahinkru.
Okay.
And then Fanti Nyankomasi, that is what is popular.
Yeah.
And my stool is also the stool of Taboo.
Okay.
The famous Taboo.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are sandwiched by the Fantis.
Okay.
On the right-hand side is a Fanti town. On the left-hand side is also a Fanti town. I forgot to mention Eti people. They are also in the central region. Yes.
Okay.
And then behind us is the Eti people.
Okay.
Yes. So, and we have a very big market.
Okay.
Our market days are Tuesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
So people come from all over the country. We have the Kumasi, Takoradi, Accra. People come there, all right. And the nearby towns who are the Fantis. So it's like our tree has been corrupted a little.
Okay.
So there are certain things that we say in Fanti. And I can say that people in the Fanti, Nyankumase Ahinkru, the then Fanti Nyankumase, I can say almost everybody can speak Fanti because of the sandwich by the Fantis, yes. So we do everything like the Ashantis. We celebrate Akwesidae and the Awukudai as well. Yes, we have taboo days just like the Asantis. We are also matrilineal, just like the other Akan speaking areas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is us.
Okay. Let me come to you mentioning taboo days. Nana Abwajua, the taboo days. Which days are taboo days? Do we still have taboo days in Asante?
Yes.
We still do.
We still have them, especially in the villages.
Okay.
Everything is observed. You see that the Ashantis, we have our calendar, Asante Nebu. We have the Akweside, Ewukude, Fofie, Dapa, and so forth. We observe all of them. Some of them are observed quietly. Others say the last Akweside of the year is celebrated in a grand style by Otumfo for people from all walks of life to come to Kumasi and witness it. So all the taboo days are observed. Mampong, for instance, Saturday before Akweside, no funeral celebration is organized in Mampong.
Okay.
The place is quiet. We all prepare to celebrate the Akweside, where it is believed our forefathers, their ancestors will come home and eat. The Omanhene will eat with them, pour libation, and ask for goodwill for the town. Yes, in the villages, on some Fridays, especially Fofie, they don't go to farm.
Right.
And some rivers, they don't enter on those bad days. So we still celebrate them. And we have the annual calendar for every year, and that is what we use.
Right.
All the traditional councils in Kumasi, we use that calendar to observe the Dabone.
Okay.
Yes.
The Dabone.
The
Okay.
Dabone.
The Dabone.
The Nabone.
Okay. Apart from fighting, Wutusa. Wutusa aside for Upentokwa. Where the number Pentokwa, where the Mojamo Fahu. What are the Ashantis known for?
You see, Ashantis are known for hard working. They are hard working people. They are trustworthy too. They are loving people, the Ashantis. They are loving people. And they are no nonsense people. Yes. They won't sit down for anybody to stumble on their freedom or something of the sort. Ashantis are good people. They love people. But they don't want people to take them for granted. They don't want people to take their loving nature to be their weaknesses. If it comes that way, they will react.
Yeah.
They will resist. If they say they love you with all their heart, their money, and everything. But if you abuse it and they tend to hate you, then you'll be sorry.
You are in trouble. You are God.
Right. Yes.
You are God.
So in short, the Ashantis are very good, hard-working people. Yes.
Okay. Nana Jefa,
Yes, I hear.
Assin
Yeah.
people, what is uniquely Assin?
This is a place that people travel from their, hometown and then come and live with us and prosper. Yes. We like farming too.
Okay.
2 years ago, I think cassava was scarce, and it was my market that was serving a lot of people. The Kumasi people, they come and live there, buy the cassava or other foodstuffs, and send it back with the vans, and then they are there waiting to buy more. There are people who will be there receiving the foodstuffs. Yeah. So
Do you have that cassava? When I was in school, Fantiman girls used to have some cassava. It was really nice. It tasted like yam.
okay,
It's like puna.
okay.
When you cook it, it's some small. You
Yes.
have those ones.
Yes. So when I go home,
Please send me some.
I usually eat my banchampisi.
See.
Yes, with a tomato. You grind your tomatoes and add some roasted granules and pour some small red oil on
Hey,
it.
Nana.
Or jomi. Yes.
Oh, Nana.
And the jomi, I prepare it myself. I'll bring you some.
You prepare the zombies yourself
Yes,
too?
I
as
told
well?
you I'm from Aplau too. My father is from Aplau, so I know how to do that very well. And you pour your jomi on it. So anytime I travel back to Nyankumasa, I eat some. I'll bring you some.
Let me take another break. When we come back, this is a standpoint, we celebrate women. So when we come back, we are going to talk about some of the great, of course, when we talk about Asante or Ashantis, you know about Nana Ya Asantua. But I'm sure there were other women who also did great, historically played a role and are playing a role too, to contributed to what has become what the Ashantis are today. And the same applies to Assin. When they were singing, when they were passing, I'm sure there were some women in there as well. When they settled, there's some women in there. So we're going to learn about these women when we come back. We take a break. We're back shortly. But again, okay, I say thank you to, who do I thank? My sponsors. GTP, still timeless. Thank you so much. And Eastern Balloons and Accessories. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Again, I say thank you to Gogot Yogurt, Juice Time, Kodam's Gift and Stationery. Thank you so much to all of them. Yak Cleaning Services and Dream Oval, who power our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh. Nana Buajiwa, apart from Nana Yasantua, that we all know about, we studied about. I don't even know if we really know the full story. Who are some of the women who stand out in the history of Asante?
In fact, when we come to women in Ashanti, the number one is Nana Yasantua.
Yeah.
Because she did something extraordinary.
Right.
In Ashanti, we had the normal gender roles.
Okay.
Women had their duties and functions they play. But what Nana Yasantua did was quite different from the normal gender roles of women. Nana Yasantua took the gun. She had an army. She fought. In Ashanti, we have the saying that Etua Tubare. Nana Yasantua fired the gun, the first gun, at Barikesi Forest. So the people heard it and said, hey, listen, Etua Tubare, who is that? And it was Nana Yasantua. So whenever we are saying Etua Tubare, we are referring to the first gunshot by Yasantua.
Can you recap what exactly led to her firing that first gun?
Yes. At that time, there had already been the Sagranti War, where the whole Kumasi was burnt down by the British. The British supported other nations, the coastal nations and other places which had already been conquered by the Asantes. The British came to their support and defeated the Asantes. So from the Sagranti War, there was no peace in the Asante region. Even Nana Kofi Kakari, who was then the chief of Asante, was the first Asante who was destooled because he allowed himself to be conquered by the British and the Fantis. Nana Mensa Bonsu, who succeeded Nana Kofi Kakari, was destooled because there was no peace. But coming upwards, the war continued until Prempe I and some prominent chiefs of Asante were captured and transported to the Seychelles Island. So there was confusion. Most people have been deported. The city has been devastated. It had been burnt down. The women, the row of women have been scattered because the men are not there. It was then and there that the governor at that time demanded the golden stool from the Ashantis. So when the governor wanted to get the golden stool from the Ashantis, the men at that time were not so brave to face the white man. It was at that time, and Nana Asante said, "Hey, you men, what are you doing? Are you sitting down for the white man to come and take our golden stool, which is the embodiment of our souls? No way. If you can't do it, we the women, let's go and fight." We will not. So it was the protection of the golden stool that Nana Asante took the gun and led the war against the white men.
Who was she before this?
So Asante was a Hema.
Yeah.
From a Asuna family of Ebiso. But at that time, Queen Mother's rule was not known in public. Yeah. We were always, even as at now, we work behind closed doors. But because of the conditions at that time, the Asante has been taken away. Mampong too was taken away. So many Bantu and other chiefs were all gone. It was then and then that they were. So the women were coming, "Hey, what is going on? What are we doing?" The men too were not talking. So Nana Asante had to come and see what is going on. When he saw the men are not, because they were scared. He has to. And he had followers. Then he said, "No, we will not." People followed him. And they waged war against the British.
Yeah. So would you say that she broke the stereotype?
Yes. So she broke that.
Yeah, I'm sure then it was even a taboo for a woman to hold a gun.
Yes. How can a woman? Because it was only men who go for war. When they go, the women sit back and sing, praying that they will come home successfully. We don't hold guns. But it was that peculiar situation that when the men were not talking, when men were scared to take drastic decisions, that she has to come in. And he had some followers. She was living in forest. That was why the first gun was heard in Barakese. From there, her gunshots were heard at Sreso. She was moving. When they wanted to catch her, she was running around with the troops. Unfortunately,
proper strategist.
Yes. Unfortunately, she was defeated. But the objective of which she took the gun to defend the golden stool was achieved.
It was achieved.
Because they were not able to
take
take the golden stool away.
Yeah.
But she was captured and sent to Seychelles to join the chiefs there. She even died there at the Seychelles.
Seychelles. Yeah. Wow.
So when Yasantua was, even when she was captured, the golden stool had been sent into a hiding place. So the people, the British couldn't get access to the stool. So people were happy, even though she was taken away. There was no,
the purpose was achieved.
yes.
Purpose was
So
achieved.
they lauded her. That was why her name has been in history up to
Today.
this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It was a unique move by a woman. Yes. But apart from that, the other gender roles by other queen mothers were superb, but
Yeah.
they were taken to be normal.
Wow. Right.
Normal things, so it was
Exactly.
not
Right.
being mentioned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this peculiar one was.
Yeah, she stood out.
Yes.
You stood out. Wow. Nana,
Yes, I know.
Assin Emba.
Asema. Yo.
I like that. Yeah.
You know, the Assins, originally we were only two groups. We are the Assinat and dancers, and then we have the Assin Apimenim as well. Especially for my stool, my great or forefathers, they were, or Taboo was a warrior, our leader. Taboo was a warrior. And we did not even have any queen mother at the time. So the men were leading all the time. And like Nana Abwajua said, women don't go to war. So they always stay at home and do the house chores. So we were also that small group. So we do not have one woman or one person to celebrate like the Ashantis can do with Yasantua. I'm young, but I've seen a great change in Asen.
Right.
I did not live there when I was young. I came there in 1988.
Okay.
When I sit down and reflect the things I saw, especially with girls and women as a whole, I've seen that there's a great change. These days, every girl, every woman, or every young woman is going to school. I remember one time, a lady, I was having a conversation with a lady, and she said, Nana, meti hey, say, you say, signboard is way, ukohwa, yebekuma, mi umekoma yekumi. She was just trying to say that she cannot read. She didn't go to school, and that's how sad the situation was for her. And so she told me she was ready to learn. Because I had started teaching some people who are old.
Right.
So that change I've seen in Asen, that now our women, our girls are going to school. That's even encouraged me to do this foundation, the early learning foundation. Yeah. So that when you catch them young, then they grow with it.
Yeah.
So though we do not have the women or a woman or somebody to celebrate like the Yasantua, there has been a great change. That our women are going to school. Now they are in the universities, they are learning profession here and there.
Right.
They are still farming, but you see that they are going to school. We have advantage. We go to UCC, they are doing distant learning and all those things. So that's what I can do. I can say that our people are doing these days.
Nana Bwaje, in conclusion, please, what have you got to say?
In conclusion, what I would say is that it still looks as if queen mothers have been put in the shelves. You don't hear about them. But it's the duty of the Queen Mother to install a chief. That one thing I always talk against is that after the Queen Mother has installed a king or a chief, the chief takes over everything about the traditional council. The government has even come in to institute such positions or functions within the traditional councils. After the Queen Mother has installed a chief, we have the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Council, which is being backed by judges, by government, and it is in the Chieftaincy Act. We have the Regional House of Chiefs. We have the National House of Chiefs. All these institutions, Queen Mothers are not members, even though they are the custodians of all the traditions and practices. The customary practices are overseen by the Queen Mothers. They install the chief, they advise the chiefs, they do everything. Even it's only the Queen Mother who can rebuke a chief if he does anything wrong. But after all those things, these various institutions, Queen Mothers are not part of it. And if you take the Chieftaincy Act, it doesn't talk about the Queen Mother. When the Constitutional Review Committee were going around to do changes here and there, I was then an assembly member at Mampong Municipal Assembly. I went there and said women should be, Queen Mothers, should be permitted to be members of these various houses of chiefs. When the new constitution was drawn, I thank the organizers of that thing. The only position which was given to the Queen Mother was that it was in the definition of who is a chief. Or is a male or female who has been nominated and thrown and so and so. That was the only name the Queen Mother came in the Constitution, the definition of a chief. Apart from that, the Chieftaincy Act still stands as it is. Queen Mothers are not members of the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Councils. They are not members of the Regional House of Chiefs. They are not members of the National House of Chiefs. So my appeal, once I've got this platform, my appeal to the government, and for that matter, the Chieftaincy Secretariat, is that they should see to it to make some amendments or additions so that at least some of our noble Amahima who nominated and installed these chiefs, who are members of the National House of Chiefs, the regional, should be members of these august institutions in the Chieftaincy Secretariat.
And I totally agree with you.
Thank you,
Nana
madam.
Boajo. I totally agree with you, and I'm sure Nana Abna Jemfua also agrees
I
with
do.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But we, of the standpoint, of course, appreciate you, and we know the work you're doing, and we are so grateful. So we have this package for you from GTP. This is Adipadumas from GTP. And then
Nice.
this one too is yours.
Thank you,
Nana
thank
Boajo,
you,
and
thank
this
you.
also. Thank you so much. We are
Thank
so,
you.
so grateful.
Thank you.
We know how much and what you do, and sometimes the pains that you go through, but you do not speak about it publicly. You know, since I'm your daughter-in-law,
Yes,
at least
yes.
I know certain things. And since I'm also in the public space and in the business of feminism and women empowerment, I become a voice
Yes.
for my in-laws as well.
Thank you.
So we just want to appreciate you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. God bless you. And when you are going back, wish you a safe journey.
Thank
And
you.
we'll definitely do this again.
Yes.
More to talk about.
Yes.
There's more to talk about.
Thank you for the platform. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome. You're welcome. I'll be back with a bit of me. You know the beauty about learning. Just when you think you know so much, you always learn something new. You always find out something new. Today, I have learned something amazing about Nanaya Santua. The great, extraordinary Ejisohima, who picked up the gun and fought. Yes, in those days, it was not normal. It was not the place or the role of a woman to pick up a gun. I mean, who dare you? How dare you? How dare you as a woman? Women don't go to war. But then, nobody knows where she found her strength, where she found her boldness. She picked up a gun, fired it in the forest, and said, let's go to war, women. When all our people have been captured, when we have nowhere to go to, for them, the British, to come and take the soul of Asante man, to come and take the golden stool. And in some reference, I would say the soul of Ghana. We will not let it. So she picked up the gun. She changed the status quo and fired and led a war. She didn't win. But then she made history. No, we can't be the same. We can't do the same things. In how many years ago, over 100 years ago, a woman stood up. We've come a long way, women. It's time. It is time. It is time for us to lift high the flag of Ghana and make Ghana what it has to be. It do mene wonso, yes so. It's up to you and I, my generation, the generation yet to come, the generation after me, and the generation yet to come, for us to do something to prove that Ghanaian women have what it takes. And we need to prove ourselves. We need to stand up and stand out and break through and take our rightful places. God has given us wisdom. Let's apply it. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. But hey, be extraordinary. Ghana, 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 say yeah, yeah.